Hi there, welcome to Marble Halls TV, and I want to discuss Arsenal nil, Everton 1. Um, Sorry I didn't do this yesterday, but to be honest, I was tired and I went to bed early, but whatever. Um, well, obviously, the protest was probably the highlight of yesterday, and I'm not trying to make this muggy in terms of, an Arsenal Tottenham thing, but our protest was way better than theirs. Um, So yeah, I suppose in a way, football should unite. It shouldn't be about rivalries. But if you're a Tottenham fan, let's be frank, you're probably a bit ashamed that your deadliest rivals' protest was more comprehensive and better attended. Um, I know these lot can win potentially the Carabao Cup, so they could probably have the last laugh, even though we're still in the Europa League semis. But even if them man win a trophy tomorrow, good on them. Um, they still haven't won an FA Cup in 30 years. They haven't won a league title in 60 years. So these men can only win potentially like football league sponsored or organized trophies. They haven't won a trophy organized by the Football Association or any other body in decades. So good on them. Plus, City have had some bad results lately. I know they beat Villa, but they'll be looking to come back, and they still would want to win. Okay, they can't win the domestic treble, but they'd want to win as many trophies as possible and show that they're still the boss men. So good on Spurs. Pep may just rile them up to slap them up, but that's enough on them. But as for us, I don't think we played badly in this game, to be honest. I think a draw was probably a fair result. I think our issue here is that we didn't really convert our chances. I think our issue here, as you can probably see from the banner, is this individual I'm about to show right now, Bernd Leno. Now, the thing with Bernd Leno is that a lot of fans have questioned him, and I think I'm starting to enter that camp now that, look, all players make mistakes. The best of players make mistakes. No player is perfect, but even people like, Messi, Ronaldo make mistakes, and Mbappe, Neymar, Holland, they're human beings. They're not going to do everything always correct, no matter how good you are. But there have been lots of errors in games where he's cost us goals. And I think enough is enough now. Um, I remember Chelsea last season. The thing is, though, is that he makes some vital saves from time to time. And I do think he's a reasonable goalkeeper, but he's not an elite level goalkeeper. And I think his mistakes now becoming too much of a liability. I really do. Um, am I arguing or advocating that we should change him or get rid of him or sell him? No, but I do think we have to question his perhaps long-term place in the team because, he is making way too many mistakes, mistakes that cost us goals and ultimately cost us points. Um, Having said that, that's why I'm saying it's a balance because he did save a penalty against Chelsea when we beat them 3-1. I think if Jorginho would have scored, it'd been 3-2. Yes, we may have hung on, but remember we were 3-0 up, and okay, that's ifs and buts, but even still, it was a critical save. He's made lots of good saves in his time at Arsenal, but lots of mistakes. So I don't know. I think the mistakes now are starting to catch up with him, and if he's not careful, then a lot of the goodwill that he has because of his good performances will erode. So I don't know. We have too many players in our team who are so erratic, who have bad judgment from time to time, like a David Luiz, like a Rob Holding, like Granit Xhaka. And it's worrying that since Wenger's left, we still have players of that mold, or we're still signing players of that mold. Um, so without further ado, then I'm going to go and discuss my player ratings. Okay, then. So yeah, I've already discussed Leno and too many mistakes. But my overall impression of the game is that the first half, I thought, I think the draw would have been fair. Everton did have chances. Richarlison, I think that Calvert-Lewin was quiet overall, but he did have a header that went wide. Richarlison had a chance in the first half. Sigurdsson hit the bar. I think Sigurdsson went close in the second for them. For us, Saka. Yeah, there was the penalty. I suppose it probably was offside. Well, I think it was a penalty. It was offside. Very marginally from what's his name, Pepe. But certainly more so probably in the second half. I think we did more to take the game to them. Certainly from around probably, excuse me, certainly from around probably say 55 minutes, probably up until the time they scored. I thought we were the dominant team in terms of more possession in our attacking third, their defensive third. But we just lacked penetration. I think Pepe had a reasonable game, but he I don't know, his final ball wasn't good. Saka was all right. Smith Rowe was all right, but again, neither were outstanding. Nketiah, I thought, was trying to work hard, but didn't really have many chances. And yeah, I think we lost this game because of Leno. I think without him, I think it would have ended in a draw. And I think both, Arteta said we did deserve to lose, and even Ancelotti said that a draw was fair, and I think so. I predicted a draw in my preview, if you see it in the channel, because I thought Everton, yes, their recent form's been bad, but they have a boss and an elite level manager. They have some good players, and and they are looking for European spots, and who knows, they could probably even sneak top four, but I think more likely Europa League. I think they're close sitting Liverpudlian neighbours Liverpool will pick them for top four, and possibly Chelsea, maybe even West Ham. Who knows? But that's by the by. But yeah, I think overall both teams had good chances, and yeah, I think a draw would have been a fair result, and we cost ourselves by, I have to say, a stupid mistake by Leno. So yeah, I'm gonna go through player ratings now. Leno, 1 out of 10. To be fair, okay, maybe people may think that's a bit harsh, but I'll give a rationale for why I say 1. He did okay up until then, but that was an elementary error for an international level goalkeeper. Remember, this man will probably be in the Euros for Germany, right? And Germany obviously have not been any dead international team in the history of football, certainly not. So I don't think he's number 1. I think it's still Manuel Neuer, but you're number 3 or number 4 keeper for Germany. You should not be making such stupid errors in that manner. So I'm going to give him a 1 for that basis. Xhaka, I'll give a 6. You can say he was twisted probably too much for Richarlison's goal, but I still give Leno most of the blame for that. Because even though Richarlison was let in easily by Marianne thing, he still had the skill, basically, and ability not to let that go in. So yeah, I'll give him a 6. I thought he was comfortable for most of the game. I've given all the defense 6 because I think they generally were comfortable. Holding, I don't rate Holding, but I thought he's reasonable. I know Calvert-Lewin was quiet, and I think to some extent Holding and Murray did marshal the channels well to stop him. Chambers, again, Chambers was solid. Now Partey, I'll give a 7, and for me, he's the Arsenal man of the match. Man of the match overall, in my opinion, was Richarlison. I think he was their biggest threat, and obviously he got the winning goal for them. But Partey for me, I thought he did give the ball away a few times, but overall his positional sense, he was winning the ball well, he was covering ground well, and not just that, his distribution, especially long range, I thought was very good. He was switching play, he was trying to get Pepe, he was trying to get Saka out wide. And for me, it was one of the best performances I've seen from him in an Arsenal shirt, really. Ceballos 6 again. Ceballos is not one of my favourite players either, but, I thought he was part of the reason we dominated possession, I think, was because of Ceballos. The thing with Ceballos, I just think, is that he does have good technical ability. He's good on the ball. His short range passing is good. He can link up play well, but he's just not consistent enough. That's my issue with him. Pepe 6, I think he was trying to make things happen. He potentially could have scored the penalty if we got it. but he was a threat to them. The only thing is that I think his final ball was missing, and he was running too much into dead ends. I think when Pepe is deployed just on the to hug the touchline, he's not effective because teams know that he's going to dribble. I think if you just give Pepe a free role in the attacking third, he can dribble, he can shoot, he can cross. But yeah, I think a 6 out of 10 I think is fair. Saka I'm gonna give and Smith for a minimum of 5. They're trying to make things happen, but giving Saka a 5 since I've seen way better performances from him. He wasn't shit by any stretch of the imagination. Neither was Smith Rowe. And Nketiah, again I don't rate Nketiah, but um, again he was active. He didn't have many chances, but he was trying to contribute to the build up and stuff. If there's a criticism of Smith Rowe, I think on the ball he's very good. He has great technical ability, but he's a very slow dribbler. That when he tries to dribble away from players, they always catch him up. Um, or more often than not, they catch him up. So that's why I don't rate Smith Rowe really. Why am I saying don't rate Smith Rowe? I do rate it. I don't know why I said that. I retract that. I don't know why I said that, but Smith Rowe for me needs to improve that part of his game. I should probably say that part of his game I don't rate and he needs to improve. Other than that, I think his passing is good and I think he does have a high ceiling. Um, but that's why I've given him a 5. Martinelli, when he came on for, I suppose, didn't he had that chance, but I think Pickford was always going to save that given the angle. Willian was a 2. He didn't. It's not just a prejudice against Willian because I don't rate him either, but again, I don't think he did much. Odegaard, again, I do rate him, but he didn't really affect the game. I've already spoken who I think our man of the match was, the man of the match overall. Um, as for Arteta, look, my views on Arteta haven't changed. I don't think he's good enough. Yes, the FA Cup was grand, but I think we're placing way too much faith in somebody who's literally learning on the job, and for what it makes no sense. Um, But the lineup was okay. I think, given the Villarreal game we had and the fact that there was no Laka, no Alba, maybe could have put Martinelli or maybe even Balogun as striker. But overall, I can understand the logic behind it. Um, I thought the team effort was all right. Yes, we made probably a major failing is that we didn't create enough in the final third. We had chances, yes, of course, but we probably didn't translate our possession into chances, if that makes sense. And a draw may have been a fair result, and Leno's error was not Mikel's fault. So I'm going to give him a 4. So I'm going to give him a huge blight for that. So yeah, that's just my overview then of uh, the game from yesterday. I don't think it's a bad performance, and I think we seriously need to question Leno. Not so much sell him, but I think we need to ease up our views. He's not a world class goalkeeper. He's a good and competent goalkeeper, very very best in my opinion. I don't think he'll ever be elite levels. So yeah, thanks a lot.